Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides, and today we're in my Focus RS and we're doing a 4th month wrap up. How are things going with the RS? Am I still happy with it? Am I missing my ST or my Type R? These are the questions I'm constantly asked all the time. Right now I'm on this fun road that I like to take from time to time over in Mexico. It has some really tight 90-degree left and right hand bends, and that's really where, with the RS, the all-wheel drive in this car is phenomenal. The way that the car pivots itself when you're coming out of when you're going through a turn, especially when you're powering out of it, it really lays down the power very nicely. The transmission is so smooth shifting. There has not been one time that I've missed a gear or heard any crunching of any synchros or anything like that. The brakes are really easy to modulate. As I'm about to go in this left-hand bend, very smooth to transition, back on the power. I mean, the sound, I'm really enjoying this car. Are there times where I'm missing my STI? Yeah, there are. You know, when I'm going down the road and another STI goes by, I wish I had my STI so that I could wave, you know, that Subaru wave. And that's the biggest thing I miss from this whole experience is when you own a Subaru, you're really part of an amazing community, and I really enjoy that. And that's one thing that, if I were to say what's one thing that's huge that I miss, it has to be that. It has to be that experience of being part of that Subaru group. I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick U-turn here. If anything is the big complaint, it's going to be making U-turns. This car the turning radius is terrible in it compared to my STI or even my Type R. The good news is that the steering, it has a great feel to it. And when you're going through turns, it has that feedback that you want, even though it's an electric steering, just like a lot of other cars. Remember, the Subaru WRX STI still has that hydraulic steering in it, and I really think you can't beat that kind of feel, except for if you had no power steering. Now, if you didn't have power steering, obviously it'd be a real bear in slow parking lot situations, but on any kind of twisty road or an autocross course or a track, it's going to give you the greatest feel. I am still in love with the navigation in this car. This whole, Ford My Connect system with the Apple CarPlay is a dream. It works really smooth, no problems. It transitions through the maps to the phone to the this and that very easily, much easier than what was in my Subaru. The Subaru was horrendous for any kind of usability with that, with the navigation and all that kind of stuff. They don't have Apple CarPlay, and it's funny because the Type R was my first car to ever have Apple CarPlay, and now that I have it, that's going to be a big thing when choosing my next car. Will it have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto? Because it's really nice features, especially when you're doing the talk to text and all that great stuff. But as you can see here, downshift, smooth, on the brakes, through the left-hand bend. The way that the car transfers its weight is really great, especially on quick, like chicane-type turns or S's. Flipping the throttle, ever since I added that extension plate behind the throttle, it's actually made it so much easier to flip the throttle for those really good downshifts. The sound from the exhaust is just great. I like the way the car just feels purposeful. It feels really purposeful. It feels like this car was made to be driven by an enthusiast, and that's what's really important. What are some things that I'm not liking? Well, I'm still a little hung up on the steering wheel. It's a little too thin for my liking. I sat in a Golf R. I did a review in a Golf R not too long ago, and I really like the steering wheel in that car, and I definitely love the steering wheel in a Subaru WRX STI or WRX. I know that's been a big thing. Like, people have been telling me, stop calling it a WRX STI, just call it a STI. Technically, it's called a WRX STI, but anyways, we won't get into that because we can say that for another day. But it is a little harsh over the bumps, but that's to be expected. It's crazy that we live in a world now where we could be that choosy when going after a performance car, but there are lots of manufacturers out there that have done it better with their electronic suspension. This one only has 2 dampener settings. One is super hard, and the other one is doable for the streets. And so overall, things have been going really great with the RS. I love the way it handles. It has just enough grittiness to where you're gonna have to know what you're doing behind the wheel, but the car never gets like out of control in a scary way. Even when zooming through, get a little bit of pops from the exhaust. I'm about to go into this really fun S-bend, and you can see how the weight transfers. It's really nice. So you go left, right, and it really holds nice. We got another one coming up here. Really smooth. The way the boost just builds, it's not really herky-jerky. Comes in real low and just, you don't want to rev it out to red line. You definitely want to shift. I've been shifting around 6,000 RPM or so, just because it gets a little flat closer to that red line, which I know, talking with some RS owners, there are a bunch of tuners out there that could make some changes for you to get some other power out of it. And that's another avenue, is that with the RS, you know, sky's the limit with what kind of tune you want to do and what kind of power you want to create. Oil's been good. Coolant's been great. There's no smoke coming out of the exhaust. No weird noises coming from the engine. Inside, there have been a little bit of creaks and rattles here and there, but I think a lot of it has to do with that stiffer suspension. I remember my Subaru, it made some creaks and rattles too. Gas mileage, let's see what I'm doing for gas mileage here. Still getting 20.3 miles to the gallon, so that's driving it every day, and I'm not just putt-putting around, so it's getting pretty decent gas mileage for what I'm doing with it. Here comes a really nice tight right-hander. This one's a lot of fun. You just tip it in and just go. She just grips, and that's the one thing between this and an ST, is you're not getting any front end push whatsoever. No understeer. Sometimes when you're doing it right, you can get some fun oversteer out of it, and that's even without drift mode, like I said before. But I'm just overall really pleased with the car. The paint's great. Interior is really nice. I'm loving the seats. It's a great car. If you have any specific questions, let me know. Hold on one second. Let me go through this nice little set of twisties here. It's really, really fun. Love this thing. Now third. Tight left-hand bend here. You could really feel the all-wheel drive system working. It's really intuitive, and I like that a lot about it. Just really exhilarating. If you're an enthusiast, you need to get behind the wheel of one of these. If you have not, just don't listen to what people are saying online. Don't just listen to me. Go down to a dealership, take it for a spin. It's a lot of fun. If you have any specific questions about it, leave them in the comment section. If there's anything in particular you do want to see on Raiti's Rides, leave a comment in that comment section. I want to thank all of you who have been subscribing and watching. We made it past that 3,000 subscriber mark, so thank you so much, guys. I got some more giveaways coming up. That was a big hit. We had somebody win a free Raity's Ride t-shirt for our 3,000 subs video. So stay tuned for more giveaways. And if you have not been to my Instagram, check out Raity's Rides on Instagram. It's all original content. And a lot of times I have pictures of things that I'm working on. So I like to give you a little sneak peek. And there's a lot of pictures of things that you don't get to see, like a lot of different events I go to and things like that. So when you get a chance, check that out. And like always, guys, as I make this really awkward U-turn, I'll see you on the next ride.